Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live. It is your man. One more time, I am very humbled. I've come back down to earth. Last week was something that it happened, and as you can see, I'm no longer wearing my Dallas Cowboy hat. We are full baseball caps, probably the rest of the season. What do you want me to do? Sue me, okay? Sue me. All right. I'm your man one more time, Desiree Alex Jr. And I'm back just to do the show, bro.
I apologize for having a very, very flawed co-host. He can't make his mind up. 1 week, he down. The next week, he up.
Yeah.
Now, he from Crenshaw.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the West Coast.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. All
right.
Shout out to all my people out there in LA for sure.
All right.
For sure.
Cool.
For sure.
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, as you can see.
Me too.
Shout out to my sister. She designed this hat. I hope y'all like it.
Shout out to sis. For sure.
I'm
from Jacksonville too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, D is an amazing fella, man. But welcome back to the show, man. We apologize for telling you guys, for subjecting you guys to any Jaguar content. Yeah, it's bad. Me and you both are going through it. On Saturdays and Sundays, D, we go pray for each other. We go try to get through this thing. Let's talk about some teams in the NFL that actually can play.
Oh, boy. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. Week 3 of the NFL season. We got a handful of games that we're going to tap into. Great week last week, week 2. A lot of great games. That Monday night game with Atlanta and Philadelphia, that ended very crazy, man. But a lot of theory. Even shout out to the Bears, man. The Bears really hung tough with the Texans at home. That was a great game. I watched that from start to finish. Shout out Caleb Williams for just kind of showing how special he is going to be in that game, and just some surprises overall around the league. And let's get into one team who absolutely got the doors blown off of them. And what team is that? That's my team. We paid my quarterback, we paid my receiver, we about to pay Parsons, we paying everybody else, but we forgot how to play football on Sunday at home in Dallas. The New Orleans Saints absolutely clipped us and embarrassed us at home. Now they got Dak and Jared talking like they pastors at a local youth membership church. I don't want to hear none of that. Cowboys get embarrassed, but they are 1-1. They welcome in the Baltimore Ravens, who can run the football, but they don't run the football, but they're running the football, and they're 0-2. So a combustible elements of a football game is what we have here. Ravens at Cowboys, 4:25. Tom Brady will be calling the game. No one's going to be a lot of attention on that. Former MVP Lamar Jackson coming into town. Don't really see Ravens and Cowboys play a lot, and it's just going to be theater. But Rashad, who wins this game? With the Dallas, no. Wow, look at that. The Ravens are a 1-point favorite on the road in Dallas. Hilarious.
The Ravens should be able to win this game because they should be able to run the ball. Because once again, and Coop, I'm talking to you. I told you your defense was going to be trash. Once again, you got food in week 1, and then I got humbled. But you got food in week 1 thinking that you was going to do something because you played the Cleveland Browns. Hey, listen, man, that defense is trash. Again, they cannot stop the run. Lamar Jackson's going to do what he wants. Derrick Henry's going to do what he wants. The play action pass is going to work.
Okay.
And they're going to walk out of there with a W.
All right. What's the score?
Let's say 24 to 20.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, honestly, with the Cowboys getting blowed out, I'm used to this. This is what happens during the season. I'm not really shell-shocked by it. We'll win a game, then we'll get humbled. And then we'll go on a winning streak, and then we'll get humbled. Then you get close to the playoffs, and then you get humbled. Then you get in the playoffs, and you get embarrassed in the first round. This is what happens with the Cowboys. But I'm going to take the Cowboys and beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to start the season 0-3 here. Cowboys are back home. The Ravens are going to be desperate for a win for sure. But this is what my team does. They hear the hype. They know Brady's in here. You know, everybody is around. You know, they this is what they do. This is what they do. And I think it's going to be a sloppy football game for both teams when it comes to running the football, because now they want to turn Lamar Jackson into a passer. I don't really know what's going on in Baltimore as far as the identity of the team. Then Harbaugh gets up there and say we didn't bring Derrick Henry in to run him hard or run him a lot. I just don't get it. I guess they're trying to reinvent the wheel on the fly, and that has gotten them to an 0-2 start. Now, they could revert back to, what we know, but we'll see. But I'm going to still take my Cowboys. I'm going to take my Cowboys in a high-scoring game. I'm going to take them 36-33. I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks here. You're going to see both defenses have a lot of holes in them, even though they both have star players. Kyle Hamilton for the Ravens, and then, of course, you got Parsons and Lawrence and Diggs and those boys over there for my Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys win 36-33. I could be totally wrong here. Baltimore could come here and dominate and suffocate Dallas again, and then I'll be back on here next week probably wearing my Chicago White Sox hat.
Oh, my God.
So we'll see what happens with that. But I got my Cowboys 36. My Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
36-33. All right, let's move along to the hometown Jags. All right, on Monday Night Football. And this is the thing. I just realized this last night. This is the first time. Of course, they do this when the Jaguars are on Monday night. They're going to run 2 games at the same time. 2 games at the same time, because I was wondering why they didn't do that for week 1 like they did last year. But of course, when you get Jags and Buffalo on ESPN at 7 o'clock, and then on 8 o'clock, you get Joe Beasy, Joe Cool, Joe Burr, welcoming the Commanders, another team from the NFC East, on ABC at 8 o'clock. So now the spotlight is not on the Jaguars. It is split. So the country will get to choose. And I got to think a lot of teams might want to see Joe Beasy, but we'll see. Rashad, we're not going to talk about this game. We do have an announcement right now, don't we?
We have another State of the Union that will be coming out this weekend. It's a lot of things to discuss. A lot of things that were right in front of our face that we decided to be blinded by. So we go let the people talk. We go talk. Me and D go talk. We go talk to some people who want to talk. And we go let everybody get it off their chest, because this is going to be a long season and it shouldn't have to be. But stubborn coaches and stubborn GMs and stubborn owners will allow something like this to happen. 2 weeks in a row, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been in games and they should have won. 2 weeks in a row, they have gave away the game. 2 weeks in a row, both of these teams could not stay on the field on 3rd down. They couldn't do it. But guess what? Still beat Jacksonville. 2 weeks in a row, allow under 20 points. Still beat Jacksonville. It's a lot going on with this team. We're going to let the people talk. This weekend, State of the Union, again. Last year we did a State of the Union. They won 7 games straight. This year we do the State of the Union. They won't.
Well, we're going to see about that. But we will have a State of the Union addressing. Stay tuned for that. Going to coordinate some things to get some input from the city. And, stay tuned end of the week. This coming Saturday, if you're watching this live, watching this on the debut, this coming Saturday morning, 8 a.m., that episode will be released. State of the Union, Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to talk about what's going down here in the city. All right. Not going to predict the game. You just have to watch State of the Union and kind of see where we are. All right. Let's move on to a very interesting matchup so far in this young NFL season. You have the 2-0 fighting Jim Harbaughs taking their travels all the way out to Pittsburgh to face the well-respected Mike Tomlin and the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers with Justin Fields at the helm. Happy for Justin Fields, man. I'm really happy for him. Don't know if Russ is going to get the start. Like they're going to ride with Justin. That's what it sounded like Tomlin was saying earlier today. But you get a 2-0 matchup, 1 o'clock kick on CBS. The Steelers are a 1.5-point favorite at home. Rashad, how are you feeling about this? Interesting matchup, in my opinion. Chargers and Steelers on Sunday.
I love the Chargers. I told y'all that this is going to be one of my sleeper teams at the beginning of the season. Listen, Jim Harbaugh is a coach. He may be quirky. He may not be everybody's cup of tea, but he a shot of liquor on that field. Hey, man, the man can coach. This man got Quentin Johnson to be able to catch the football. He caught
Yeah.
2 touchdowns last week. 2. I don't care that they was playing the Carolina Panthers. He caught 2 touchdown passes, and he couldn't catch nothing last year.
Yeah.
There's a confidence that Jim Harbaugh puts in his teams instantly.
Culture.
He's a culture man. He's the X's and O's man. He may not be the coolest, but his team ride for him every time. Now, we all know about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what they bring to the table. They 2-0. But I just feel like the better team right now, the team that will put the most pressure on Justin Fields to have to score the football, would be the LA Chargers. Give me LA. Let me say 28-21.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game on my end. I think it's going to be a lot of defensive here. A lot of respect for the head coaches here, Harbaugh and Tomlin. Really look forward to seeing how Herbert has really matured against a Mike Tomlin defense here. So I'm going to be paying close attention to that. I think you're going to see Harbaugh's DNA come through the Chargers to fight. You know, the Chargers would get up and they get big leads and they would be finessed and they would lose a lot of games in the past. This is going to be kind of a marquee game on the Chargers schedule this year. I like Justin Fields and what he's been able to do, but I do agree with Rashad. I think that the defense for the Chargers are going to be a lot more difficult, and they're going to present a little bit more challenges to Justin Fields. I just think that, you know, the Chargers are going to be a team when we get to the end of the year. It's not going to be the conversation of the same old Chargers. I just think they're going to be a team that people just are not going to want to play, and you can kind of see the DNA with Harbaugh. Give me the Chargers here in a low-scoring affair. I'm going to take the Chargers 20-17 to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in a slugfest up in Pittsburgh for sure. So looking forward to that game. I have that game on split screen for sure. All right, let's go down to New Orleans. Rashad, are the Saints for real? Are the Saints for real? They blew out the bad Carolina Panthers. They blew out to, I don't know if my Cowboys are bad, Dallas Cowboys, and now they get ready to face the Philadelphia Eagles, who absolutely blundered a win potential game on Monday Night Football to start the season off 2-0. They are now 1-1. Intriguing matchup. Philly goes on the road to New Orleans. The people in New Orleans have something to cheer for. It looks like they have some good things going on, but do they keep it up? Do the Saints go 3-0, or do the Eagles get them back on track?
Saints go 3-0, man. They are not going to the voodoo house with it being on fire like that and winning a football game. It will not happen.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that Philly has played. To me, Philadelphia has been a disappointment. They really have. The first week of the season, yes, they played well. That mess that happened on Monday Night Football, when all you got to do is run the ball.
Yeah.
What is Stefanski doing?
Play calling atrocious.
I'll never understand it. What these coaches, how they try to outsmart everybody in football every single week. I'll never understand it.
Right.
And this team that they're coming into, I mean, on fire. On fire. Don't have to deal with no elements. They're fast again. Derek Carr is playing out of his mind.
Yep.
I don't think that at this point right now, a team like Philadelphia will be able to beat that team. They're playing fast. They're playing physical. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They're doing everything that they're supposed to do on the football field. Give me the New Orleans Saints. What's the line on this game, D?
The line is 2.5 for New Orleans.
Yeah, they go definitely cover that. Give me New Orleans. Let's say 31-28. It'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game as well. I'm going to go a little bit low scoring here. I'm going to take the Eagles and get back on track. This is the type of team that can punch back. They had some blunders in the fourth quarter, but they do have the weapons. Now, they're going to lose A.J. Brown for another consecutive week, but the weapons around Philadelphia, they got to get it together. Stefanski has to make a call. The offensive coordinator name remisses me for Philadelphia, but he is I don't know if he's a prankster or a jokester, the former head coach for the Lions, but I'm not really sure what he got going on. If Philly does what Philly can do, they'll win this game. They can control the line of scrimmage. They still have a very good offensive line. Saquon Barkley has been special so far in this offense. Jalen Hurts does not turn the ball over. Now, he has a couple picks this year so far, but he's not a turnover machine. He's a strong runner. You control the time of possession. The defense for Philly on the front end, they're not getting any pressure. They're not getting any pressure. They got to fix that. And that's what's creating those mismatches back there in the secondary because you can't cover forever. Now, is that a recipe for destruction? Sure, coming against a high-flying Saints team. But something's telling me to take Philly. Something's telling me to take Philly. Saquon, Hurts, that offensive line, maul and run down that Saints defense. It's going to be a tough place to win. But you're talking about a Philadelphia team who was just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and literally one mistake cost them from being the world champion. Literally one mistake was a fumble on the goal line, and Patrick Mahomes never looked back. They're not playing Patrick Mahomes this weekend. They're facing a resurgent Derek Carr, but I'm going to take the Eagles to win this game in a close one. I'm going to go 24-23. Philly gets a last-second field goal and earns the win and earns a little bit more respect that they lost last week against Atlanta. All right, let's go down to Minnesota real quick here. We got the Texans 2-0 versus the Vikings 2-0. Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson winning a couple of games, and one of the surprises so far in the league, they welcome in a Houston Texans team who a lot of people like myself have them at least getting to the AFC Championship game this year. Rashad, real quick, what are you thinking? Does the Texans go in and get a win, or does Minnesota keep sprinkling that magic?
Hey, let me tell you something. The Texans did not look good in that game on Sunday night. They had flashes, but there's no reason why Chicago should have still been in that game the way that they were. In the third quarter, they did nothing on offense. The third and basically the fourth quarter, until the end of the fourth quarter, they did nothing on offense. And the fact that Chicago could not do anything on offense just made them be able to go out and win that game. The way Sam Darnold is playing right now, hey man, he's playing good. Justin Jefferson does have a quad injury, but he's gonna play. He's not gonna miss any time. I'm gonna say that
gonna do it.
I'm gonna pick Minnesota in this game. I'm gonna pick Minnesota. I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick them because that secondary is still trash. D is trash. Minnesota has a good offensive line and can keep at bay those defensive ends. They can run the ball. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. 21-17.
Okay. I like your score because that's my score. I got the Texans win this game 21-17 and survive. More, I had 20-17. That's what I had written down here. 20-17. The Texans win this game. They're better than Minnesota. They're better.
Okay.
Minnesota is playing really well, but Houston is better. They're at home. Minnesota has a great fan base there. They're going to come out and support. Don't know how limited Jefferson is. You talk about a quad for a receiver who has to dig in and cut and get out and get upfield, zigzag. They use him at the X. They use him at the Y. They use him at the Z. They use him everywhere. So I'm not fooled by Minnesota and what they're spewing, saying that Justin Jefferson is going to be just fine. No, he's not. No, he's not. A quad injury for a wide receiver, I got to think it's something he's going to be limited on. So I'm going to take that weapon away from Sam Darnold, or it's not going to be like it's, normally being used out there with Jefferson is super explosive. But give me Houston, give me Stroud. Even though Houston didn't play their best, Stroud showed a lot of poise in that game. A lot of poise. Chicago was very upset-minded and could have got that win. They could have gotten it. But Stroud stayed poised. He kept everybody together, and they did what you got to do each and every week in the league. And what is that? That's a win.
Yeah.
By hook or by crook, did you win? And the Texans won, and they'll win again Sunday. 2017, Houston improves to 3-0, giving the Vikings their first loss of the year. Let's get to an intriguing game that we just didn't see coming, but here we are. You got the 1-1 Detroit Lions against the 1-1 Arizona Cardinals. My God, Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr., welcome, sir, to the National Football League. Kyler Murray and Harrison had a field day getting their first win of the year at home, welcoming in the Lions, who have a bit of a couple of issues on that side of on the offensive side of the football, and I'm going to start here. What kind of play calling was that versus Tampa last week? Did they forget how to run the football? Did they just say, hey, we're not going to run the football? Although, yeah, then the third quarter, we're going to run the football, but in the fourth quarter, we're not going to run the football. You have one of the best offensive lines in football. Run the ball. Goff threw it 55 times. That's not a recipe for Detroit to win the game. I told people take Baker Mayfield and Tampa with that 7.5-point spread. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Cha-ching. Look here. Detroit better be careful. On the road against a fiery Arizona team who should be 2-0. We saw what they did to Buffalo for 3 quarters.
Yes.
But I'm going to hold tight with Detroit. I said they go on the road, they get a close win. I'm going to go 30-27. 30-27, Detroit survives a high-scoring game that Arizona could definitely win. But give me Detroit 30-27.
I like Detroit in this game too, D, just because I'm a DNA guy. I think over the last 2 years, they have just been turning a corner. And sometimes you can start off a little slow, get back in the groove of things. You don't really play a lot in the preseason. You got to get back right. I think this is a get back right game. I think you start to see Detroit starting to look like what we think they're going to look like. Give me Detroit on the road. 27-20.
All right. And last game on the slate for week 3 of the NFL season. We are going to Sunday Night Football. Now this game has just become that more interesting as well. You have the 2-0 Kansas City Chiefs coming down to Atlanta, which they never do. Matter of fact, I don't ever remember them coming down playing Atlanta like in the Mahomes era. This might be the first time that they even been down to Atlanta. So that is going to be a jumping scene in the A. But the Chiefs come in as a 3.5-point favorite on the road. Kirk Cousins and the Falcons seemed like they was able to get a good rhythm going in the second half of the game on Monday Night Football versus Philly. Does that carry over? Does Atlanta bring that energy from that? Let's call it probably the win of the year in the league so far. Would you say so? I mean, with Atlanta, coming off the loss at the beginning of the season and just grueling it out. And Philly's a hard place to play. It's a tough place to play. And for them to come back and get a win, I think that's going to be huge for them. But Rashad, do the Chiefs limp to another victory, or do they get themselves together and get a big win, or does Atlanta serve a little notice to the NFL by beating the Chiefs?
I can't pick Atlanta to beat the Chiefs. I'm sorry. They're playing. They played well on Monday night, but this is still Mahomes. The later and later we get into the season, the more and more he's going to start looking like Mahomes. And last week, he didn't play well.
No.
He didn't. But I'm not going to pick him to not play well 2 weeks in a row. I'm not going to pick Travis Kelce to not look like Travis Kelce 2 weeks in a row. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. It can't happen. So give me the Chiefs in this game. 30-27. I'll say it's close.
I need Travis Kelce to be an all-pro tight end again.
Yeah.
Where is he? 5 yards, 4 targets, 1 catch last week. What's going on? I'm not going to do what the other media personnel does and talk about what he got going on in his personal life and who he's dating. I can care less.
Right.
But we're talking about the all-pro, quite possibly the greatest tight end of all time. Either 1, 2, or 3, just depends on who list you're asking.
Yeah.
Where is he? It doesn't seem like he's coming out of his blocks, coming out of his routes. It seems like him and Mahomes are not on the same page. Something going on there, but I'm not going to panic because these guys have done it all.
Right.
Over and over and over again.
Yep.
I think they will get on track this week. Sometimes a good road game can rile a good team together. That's full of veterans and full of champions, and that's what the Chiefs are. You got Andy Reid, you got Pat, you got Kelce, you're bringing Chris Jones, you bring a lot of veteran champions down there, And I just think they get on course. And I just think Patrick Mahomes has a Pat Mahomes game on the road because he loves that crowd noise. He loves that noise. I'm going to take the Chiefs to get a really solid win here, 28-17. I think Atlanta makes it interesting, at least in the first 3 quarters. But I think you start to see the magic of Mahomes on the road, a little bit of adversity. He's hearing the talk. He's hearing the chatter.
Oh, yeah.
They're hearing it. But these are the reigning, defending, back-to-back Super Bowl winning champions. I think on Sunday night, center stage, when the whole world's watching, I think we get reminded just who the hell the Chiefs are. Chiefs win this game 28-17 in Atlanta. All right. All right, sports fans, thank y'all for watching yet another NFL preview show covering week 3. Some really good games on the slate. We're looking forward to watching them and giving our reactions. Be sure to catch us on the YouTube shorts where we'll be giving our post-game reactions and giving our thoughts on the weekend in the NFL overall. All right, so remember State of the Union episode coming up later on this week at the recording of this video for the weekly Jacksonville Jaguar matchup show. There's some things we just got to discuss. Hence, you guys looking for a prediction for Jacksonville versus Buffalo. Sorry, you're going to have to wait a few more days before we get into that. All right. So until next time, I'm DJ Hicks Jr. This is Mr. Moodham Change with Rashard Robinson. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and keep showing support to us, man. We really appreciate that. If you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, continue to show us support, man. We really appreciate it. All right. So until next week for week 4. Peace, y'all. Drop some comments down below and subscribe. All right, y'all. Till next week.